guys, it's Gas Games. We're playing a little bit of an altered version of Guess Who, where instead of just a game, we're going to add another layer where it's one person and they're that card. Everyone else knows who they are, and we have to compliment that person, and they get one question to ask who they are. The second round is we tease that person, and then they get to ask who they are, and then they have to try and figure out who they are. They have one guess. All right, round two.
Guesses?
Yep. That still brings up a lot of people.
Does that not work?
Find out what he said on Gas Digital.
Fill her up.
You're listening to the Gas Digital Network. You're listening to Gas Digital Best of the Week.
With Rob Flynn.
Yeah, everything just blew up, man. It took not even a year after we had him in the band, we were negotiating or talking to all the labels again. It's like it became insane, dude. As soon as Rick Rubin sent us his first scout, I just go to the guys. I go, guys, there's gonna be a lot of people we can talk to, but if we have a chance to work with Rick Rubin's label and help them become better again, because they had Black Crows and other things, Danzig, obviously Slayer and everything. But if we could it could be a marriage. And I told Rick when I met him, I'm like, hey, dude, nothing for nothing. Your label hasn't really had a success in a while. Maybe together we could do this. And he looked at me, he's all, I'm thinking the same thing. I'm all, and this is out in the parking lot with somebody. How fast do you think we can get a deal done? He's all, probably in a week or so. So we made a deal to make a deal done in the parking lot of our Davey showcase with him.
Wow. So how long before you go into the studio?
Well, what happened was we did our showcase. Then they started drawing up contracts. And then with a week later, we flew down and moved into a studio to start pre-production. And we were in there doing pre-production for a month down there, recording on Pro Tools rigs in the room and just doing all this. It was like a room that had burlap sacks all over the walls. You might have heard of it. It's the same room that Rage Against the Machine recorded their first album in.
Okay.
So we were surrounded by all this. Just got real, dude. We were meeting at his house every single day. Where bands are like, no one ever sees Rick. I just read an article of Geezer Brothers. I still don't know what he did on our album. I'm like, I know what he did on our album because he was very involved in it because he cared. He had a lot invested into it, not just financially, but he cared.
Yeah.
He saw great things for the band.
Wild.
He was
That's so wild. He was
really.
You hear that story a lot,
No, you don't. And he would come to, we'd go to his place and he'd come to the studio when we were recording, and I wouldn't know necessarily he was there. And then I'd hear a voice from the back and he'd be laying on the couch. It's like what? Hey, Erik, what's going on? But he was very into Pan and me as a team. He really wasn't, he was into the whole band, but he kind of had a problem with the drummer being a metal guy, not playing straight enough. And that had changed everything for Jimmy. That had changed. Once you change the drums, all the bass changes, right?
Right.
So there was they were kind of like zombies in the studio for a bit, trying to figure out where their place is. But the end result after being in the studio for about a year recording it, and then getting to I can't
even imagine how much money you guys spent. A year in the studio. God, that's just.
Well, I'll tell you.
Crazy.
I'll tell you how much money we spent because
I had to recoup it all.
Yeah, that's that bill was showing up for a while there, just showing me how much was chipped off in cents.
Right.
But it was by the time we were done, it was like $873,000 in the hole.
Holy.
And I could have stayed on the label, but I said I'm going to start over. But that's another story that we aren't even going to get into.
SDR Show. Let's go.
Was Come Out and Play really written because of highway violence directed at one of your cars?
That's Bad Habit.
Oh, was it really?
Bad Habit is the road rage.
Road Rage. Is it the Road Rage?
Which was
Okay, 'cause
a
I
real
thought-
big thing. I mean, it still is, but there was a ton of freeway shootings and really bad
at that
instances
time,
of road
right?
rage.
Back then.
Back, in the early 90s, there was the gang thing was really kind of off the hook back in the early 90s, in both LA and in Orange County.
Yeah.
I remember even in the LA story, you had like Steve Martin grabbing the gun out of the glove box, and it was just like a side thing in the movie. It was just like the common joke of all the road rage. And that's, I don't know, I read that somewhere that it was you guys, but that doesn't make sense that it's Bad Habit.
Yeah, I had a shitty car like we all did back then. My car was let's say an underperformer, and
it was a Chevette, and we used to joke that the Chevette makes them wet.
So I drew a lot of negative attention on the freeways.
Yeah, like you couldn't go fast enough. So
by the time I would floor it on the on ramp, but I was only going about 45 by the time it was time to merge. So I had people threw things at me. Seriously,
the Chevette made them wet, but only because there was a hole in the floorboard. So when you run over puddles, it got everybody wet.
Exactly.
So I dated a girl in LA. And this was like right after my divorce and all that happened. So I was just like shocked anyone wanted to date me. And she was gorgeous. And we got set up through a friend. It wasn't a dating site. Like, it's just one of those people you meet. And she was so pretty that like, I didn't think she was there for me. I'm like, there's been a mix up, fucking mistake at the factory. This is like not right. Right. So we're having a date. We're having a great time. She's fucking cool and funny. And she's a stand-up fan. And I thought it would be like, I don't know, like a good first date question, because you could tell something was going to happen, where I was like, what's the thing you need to work on the most in relationships? And I was like, let's just get that shit out on the first date. I'll tell you mine, and then we can call each other out or work on it or whatever. And it's also a good way to find out if she's a psycho. And she says to me, she goes, sometimes I get jealous, often of nothing, and occasionally I've gotten violent. And I was like, I'm in. Like, let's do it. You're so hot. Let's go. Because in my head, especially after the divorce, I was just like, I'm not going to give you anything to be jealous about. I'm not going to be fucking flirting with other girls. I've never been the like look and leer at like if I'm in a relationship, like I'm in a relationship. Like, I had a public affair, but like other than that, I'm great. And so I was like, it'll be fine. But I've never dated someone, I thought this was a guy thing, with just like such deep-seated jealousy that it doesn't matter. So the two quick stories about the jealousy, about how bad it was. One time we were in LA, I was going to do a podcast. We had sex before I left. I got back an hour and a half later. We started hooking up again, like right away. And she starts going down on me. She looks angry. And so I like stop her and I'm like, hey, are you good? And she's like, yeah, I'm fine. And then she keeps like angrily sucking my dick. And I was like, hey, I don't think you're fine. We don't have to do this. She shoves me back against the wall and she goes, where were you? And I go, I was doing a podcast. I went like the comedy death, like I went to do a podcast. She goes, tell me where the fuck you were. And I slowly realized that she forgot we had tasted on my and got jealous of her own. Like straight right there, literally got jealous of her own. So that you would think that would be like a rock bottom. And it wasn't. I like stayed in the relationship.
But she believes this explanation is like, oh yeah, you're right. And backs down, right?
Yes. She's like, okay. I'm crazy. And she kind of like tried to blow it off as a joke.
Okay.
She was like, wasn't that nuts the time I tasted my own and thought it was someone else's? And like, isn't that crazy? We'll laugh about this or with the grandkids. So yeah, she just like thought it was fine. And I go, if we're gonna be together, can we at least talk about this? Like, where do you think this jealousy came from? And she goes, I don't know. And I go, well, were you ever cheated on? And she goes, no. And I go, well, then Dan, I don't know what it can be. And she was
like, no, because I keep track of everything that's going on.
Yeah, no. So I swear to God. So I go, were you cheated on? No. And she goes, she's like, I don't know. I mean, my dad had a secret family, but it's not that. And I was like, you're what? Your dad had a secret family? Yes, it is that. It is your dad had she was part of literally a secret family. So yeah, that's, And
that's your four killers, Legion of Skanks. Welcome to the Clint Show!
Really? You never tried your own cum?
No, no.
Really?
Well, the thing is, I think we've talked about this before on here. I always want to eat cum, but right when you come, you're no longer you're like I gotta call my mother. I'm like you're back to normal again.
Wait a second. You're thinking about how much you want to eat cum while you're jerking or.
Of course.
And then when you're done,
then you're done, and you're like, I don't even like, or boys, you know, you know what I mean?
I did it out of pure curiosity. It was never in a moment of like, oh, I'm gonna suck this cum. I'm gonna suck my own cum so hard.
This is gonna be unpopular. I do it all the time.
Oh,
I don't give a
come
shit.
on.
I don't know if unpopular is the word to describe.
Yeah, that was That was a weird way to present it.
No, it's
hey guys, look.
Unpopular opinion.
I do.
I eat cum all the time. First off, it's not really an opinion at all.
Why do you eat your own cum all the time?
It's just a fact about what you do.
You've stunned the room, by the way.
I said this is going to be a little weird. I just do.
For no reason whatsoever.
No, there's times like, if I'm like in the act with a chick, like,
I believe you because I see in your eyes. You already wish you didn't say it.
I don't.
Wait, you're in the act with a chick.
I do so
it's
many.
It's getting hot and heavy, and then you go, hey, could you leave? I got to finish up.
No, nothing gay about it.
Roll over. He has to go upside down and starts beating on his own face.
Is it like a knife?
It's only good if it's still warm from the tap.
I'm weird with my own fluids. I'll eat my own boogers. I bite my own toenails. I'm fucking gross like that. I'm sorry.
I gotta be honest with you. All those things are gross, and that cum one still gets me.
You mean like she blows you, and then you're like, now spit it in my mouth? That kind of thing?
I assume it's jerk off cleanup.
No, it's like when someone else is there.
What?
And then they. Like a parent?
I'm giving
or
you
like
every out, dude.
I don't need an out.
Are we talking like your aunt?
I just figure it's jerk off cleanup. You're like, I don't have any tissues. I guess I'll just slurp this up.
No, that's like my
on
shirt.
My life, that's more in line of what I was thinking. I was like a cleanup thing for some reason, but it's not that at all. With other people there.
Yeah.
This is baffling.
But like they're turned on. Like
when you say there's other people there, you mean like a chick you're banging or like friends on movie night?
No, like a chick I'm banging.
Okay.
And you lick your jizz off her.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's understandable.
Thank
I don't
you.
do that, but I understand where you're coming from. That's a thing.
Yeah,
You're not talking about jerking off and then you just scoop it in and eat it and go about your day.
I'm not like no one's here. I can finally get away with it. I'm not like that.
This is
lunatic.
Someone's here. I can finally.
Yeah.
This is.
Why is this bizarre to everybody?
Right. No, this makes some more. This is a fetish.
It makes perfect sense. You're all nuts.
But at least we're in the.
It's a fetish for sure.
We're in the world of fetish now. Before it just sounded like that was a snack.
You're into extreme kink, bro.
I don't know how extreme it is. It's just like in the moment. So I'm just like, there's no hold bars.
Any other guys here right
Anybody
now?
interested,
Fess
I'll
up
give you my
if you
address.
sucked your own cum off of a chick even.
What about you? Ever she sucks you off and you're like, just spit it in my face, you.
I'm not. No. I'm
not.
into that.
You lousy rat, give it to me.
Yeah.
when I was in the 20s. When did that become my voice? You lousy rat,
You
suck
lousy
it there.
rat,
You
suck
foiled
it.
my caper. Put
spit
that
it
cum
in
in
my
my
mouth.
mouth.
Now, what about like a cream pie? You eating like a cream pie situation?
You suck one out of her box?
Oh.
I think we just gave him an idea.
Yeah.
That's
no,
new.
I don't come at chicks. I'm not like, I don't do that.
Okay.
Because I get,
That's
So the
gay.
answer's no. You don't.
No.
But you lick it out of their beef, maybe?
They usually don't have beeves, Jay.
You know what the I'm saying.
No. I don't think that.
Do you
I'm
well it
giving
up
you
in
some
her,
specifics.
Do you well it up in her belly button and jello shot it?
That I would do. That would be my speed. Yeah. That would be.
I mean, I get it. Women
I just
eat
like,
cum all
I'm
the
into
time.
like fluids.
Yeah.
I like pee. I like all that stuff.
Yeah.
What's this over here? I just happened upon Lake Baby Silver.
Yeah, I was going no for a while, and I'm back deep.
What was your gateway girl? What you don't have to name her, but like, what was it that tipped you?
I'll give her a shout out. Pop up Slay Hill. If you can, I think it's like Slay Hill _ on Instagram.
Slay Hill just
Slay
sounds like a badly
SLAY
made,
or
like,
SLEIGH.
sounds like a badly made like Chinese like zombie video game.
SLAYHIL _ I think. Her and Lil Baby Anthony.
Let me get LIL.
You got to check out.
That's not a real
You got to
thing.
check out Lil Baby Anthony.
Really? Do
He's
yourself
a
a
good
favor. Producers, please don't. I'm not going to tell you how to do your job, but I would say probably don't
bring up
go
Little Baby
on
Anthony.
Only.
Is this little baby Anthony?
That's Lil Baby Anthony.
Okay, well, there you go.
Oh, wow.
Find the one with his foot. There
Whoa.
it is.
Okay, come
Yep.
on.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Look at him.
I mean,
look at him go.
He's
I can't
dedicated
help
to
but
his
looking
art.
at it.
Is it not
he-
something you want to see more of because
say
it's
it.
such a,
Is he a Vulcan?
That's a 3 potato.
yeah.
You sound like
Did you
you're
see
watching.
that?
You
You
sound like
went
you're watching
1,
your
2,
kid
that's
play a
3
little league
potatoes.
game. You know.
Oh yeah, he is trying to see who's going to go to bat first. The way he's choking up on that.
He
thing,
sounds all
literally.
proud, like a parent at Little League. Like,
Yeah.
look at him, man.
Yeah.
Look at him go,
My
huh?
little baby Anthony.
By the way, that sounds much more innocent than it is.
What?
It's like, we've got to find little baby Anthony.
We don't know where he is.
He's stuck in a well.
And I need to his mouth.
Yeah. A well of dicks.
It sounds like something. What's her name? Nancy Grace would have
Yeah.
done like 3 months of
We need
coverage.
to find little baby
looking
Anthony.
for
Little baby Anthony is missing, and no one is looking for him.
What about if he was a white child?
If he was white, we would have found him yesterday. But because he is tainted by delicious and salacious black footlongs, nobody wants to look for little baby Anthony.
We
Oh, man,
found
imagine
him in
trying
a
to find
shallow
him.
grave, Tucker.
Yeah.
Buried under an avalanche of black.
We're getting word that he has been stabbed to death by 5 brothers in a booth. Not
He's
by
been
knives.
Buried in a shallow grave underneath Hot Takis wrappers.
Woo-wee!
He had a 40-ounce shoved up his.
It seems as if they had castrated him up. We're getting word he did that to himself.
Turns out he is just Asian.
Yeah.
It turns out it was just tucked away.
It was tucked and
If you or someone you know wears a size 16 Timberland, we need to identify these boot marks.
Godfrey. Trust. And what you say is true.
Godfrey.
Could be danger.
So you're money-wise, you're doing really well, huh?
Yeah, I am.
No, I know. Keep it 100, yeah.
I am. Yeah.
No, really?
She
just
released a book.
You just recently
Is that
released
true?
a book?
Yes.
What's the book called?
Plug it. In Bible.
The Sting Bible
Yes.
So let me ask you.
by Amber Sweetheart?
Yes.
So how does your experience with sing in that capacity, in an OnlyFans capacity, translate to the audience of teaching people how to?
Well, the book is just out now, so we will see how it goes. But
Oh, it just came out. Amazon?
Yeah. Yes,
But
it's on
what's-
pre-order now.
So what is it like aiming to do? Like, what are you trying to teach
So
people?
it's like the do's and don'ts of sexting.
Mm-hmm. So what's a
Yeah.
common mistake?
A common mistake is like pushing it, like
What-
you know, like
Pushing it? Like,
yeah,
what
like
do you
you
mean?
know, like going too fast,
Mm-hmm.
like just wanting it to be too fast. You know, you have to like do
escalating
it
too
slowly
quickly.
and flirt, and you know, like
Some people go, show me a booty.
yes,
Send me one. Send me a
exactly.
with an emoji.
Yeah.
So sometimes they got to be, hi, how are you? What's up?
Exactly. Hey,
All
how
right,
you
great.
doing? Yeah.
Yeah, do you eat? It's slow. Huh?
Yes.
That's cool.
Or are you
All right.
vegan? That's all right.
Yeah, you want me to toss your salad? No? Okay, ranch or no ranch? I don't. Oh, so you want it to be slow. But what do you mean by take your time? Because it could be days of conversation before they get into it. Or do you want hours? Is it hours or days?
No, I mean, half an hour would be great. Half an hour, like a session for half an hour is perfect. You know, like a few messages, a few videos back and
Oh,
forth.
you mean getting into sexting? I understand
Yeah.
now.
Right.
So you're not talking about like flirt texting. You're talking about when you're actually getting
Sexting,
into
yeah.
how you
Yeah.
set up the whole encounter. I see. I see.
So they know this is a sexting session.
Yes.
And then you go, all right. And charging them?
Yes, of course.
This is fantastic. You're charging them by the half hour or by the hour?
No, I like kind of send videos and pictures and yeah.
And they send you pictures.
They can if they want to.
And they say, hey, can I send you a photo?
Yes.
And then you go,
And I said, no, I'm okay, but I'll send you one. I don't want to see everyone.
Oh.
Do people disobey and then just go here?
Yes,
Of
some
course.
do.
Of course.
But then they get punished.
Really? But they get off on that too.
Yes, they do.
Have you ever? Yeah, it's like, oh, I'm a bad boy.
Tell me I'm a bad boy. Yes.
Has anybody gotten genuinely abusive where you're like, okay, I cannot tolerate
But
this?
you know what? Thank God for OnlyFans. I mean, I can block them. And
Oh, the
OnlyFans,
site, like, handles
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Oh.
If someone is like abusive in any way, they
They have
don't need
zero
to be on
tolerance.
the
So OnlyFans is like the pimp.
Yes.
They're like, who's with my bitches? Wait,
Yes.
hold on, block that mother.
They're only pimp. They take 20%. So yes.
They take 20?
Wow,
Yeah,
that's
that's pimp. That's like a virtual pimp.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
That's virtual.
I love you, OnlyFans.
See, listen.
I love you, Daddy.
Listen.
I love you, Daddy. I don't mind the 20%.
I want to discuss. So you have maybe a little bit of some arrows in your quiver if you're going to discuss abortion, because people don't care about your body autonomy. That's not the argument. People who are pro-abortion are either trying to cite early law or to justify it, or
who are pro-abortion
or anti-abortion.
Yeah.
People who are anti-abortion are citing a law, kind of like Alita. He's citing an early law from before the United States was even officially a place. He needs to use a legal precedent to prove that abortion has always been illegal in the United States. He is wrong, and I will explain to you why with and talk about the person he actually cites as being the justice who did that. Alito claims an unbroken tradition of prohibiting abortion on pain of criminal punishment from the early days of common law until 1973. Now, to prove that, he cited a court document where a guy named Matthew Hale talked about the quickening or the ensoulment, which is around the 18th week of pregnancy in Puritan New England. Now, who is Matthew Hale? Matthew Hale is a jurist from Puritan New England. Matthew Hale sentenced 2 women to death for witchcraft. Matthew Hale, that trial, both those trials where he sentenced those women to death are well documented. Now, it's interesting because if you look up Matthew Hale and the witchcraft trials, you will see that in this document, it is very weird because everyone during the trial is aware that witchcraft is not real. Matthew Hale admits witchcraft isn't real as he's trying these women for death.
I would like to step in and say witchcraft is real, but just not in the context that they talk about it in the Salem Road trial.
Sure. Now is not the time to be the witches you couldn't burn. So here's why Matthew Hale's someone we shouldn't take seriously besides the fact that he was a guy with a big pointy hat with a buckle on it. Okay? This mother knew witchcraft wasn't real, but he states, as a prosecutor, it doesn't matter because it's against the law. It doesn't matter that witchcraft isn't real. What matters is that it's against the law. And so, in a room where everyone agrees that witchcraft isn't real, he sentenced 2 grown women to die because they broke the law that didn't matter. So Matthew Hale is a monster. Now, continuing. Firstly, we're going to talk about the Bible and what it says about abortion. The Bible doesn't say anything about abortion at all, at any point. And I think that silence is deafening, right? Because if you're talking about the Bible, a thing that has very specific rules for tons of things, it tells you how to live your life. The fact that they didn't include abortion when abortion was incredibly common at the time means that they did not care. That is provable, okay? Now, basically, the Stoics talked about abortion a ton, all right? Aristotle literally wrote about abortion. Aristotle. He said the line between lawful and unlawful abortion will be marked by the fact of having sensation and being alive, which he's talking about if the baby's kicking and stuff, you shouldn't have an abortion. That's Aristotle, the guy who lived trillion years ago. That's how common abortion was. 384 BC, and abortion was so common that some of the most famous philosophers of our day were giving their opinions on it. Okay, so that means
because I'm looking at, for people who don't know when the Bible was written, it was written, different parts were written at different times, but between about 1200 and 165 BC.
Exactly. So that means the fact that it was so common means it's been common, which means the writers of the authors of the Bible were deeply familiar with the concept of abortion, which means they knew about it so totally and completely, and yet chose not to write any laws about it, which means there are no laws about it, and it is moral. Frankly, you have no argument against this if you're a Christian.
I'm taking Lamisil now. I got
for the little yellow demons under your toenails.
Right. To get, because my toenail was all black. It was just a black, crusty, flaky. If you touched it, it would just fall off. Right. So
he got drama.
So I was taking Lamisil. It's a 3-month process.
Yeah.
But it's hard on your liver.
Yes.
And they want to check you every time. But I don't drink.
Right.
So my doctor's like, oh, you don't drink, you're healthy enough to take it. Go ahead. Here go the 90-day prescription. Rock out. Nice. What I didn't know, I did 2 of them, and then when I called the refill for the 3rd one, they were like, sorry, it's not there. You need to call your doctor. Or we could call the doctor.
Yeah.
They call the doctor. They go, it didn't go through. You need to call the doctor on yourself. Now, I called the doctor. I've never had this happen before. I've never heard of this. My doctor quit.
What?
Like he quit.
What?
Like
he quit the practice?
Yeah, like on some the same way Dr. Phil is just no longer a doctor anymore. He's just like a talk show host. My doctor's probably off somewhere pursuing comedy or whatever. Yeah. Like he's done. He's done, right? So I'm like, well, what do we do?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Exactly.
And the people, they don't really know.
Yeah.
So they'll take my number, my date of birth, and my name, and they'll be like, we'll call you back.
Oh yeah,
that's where we're at.
That's code for you'll never hear from us.
That's
again.
where we're at. Yeah. 2
That's
days.
not even code. I know that.
So there's nothing I can do but just keep calling back.
Yeah.
And it's funny. Last time I called and the lady, I just tried to shut her down and be like, "Hey, listen," because she's talking about anything other than answering my questions.
Exactly.
And then
it's like a politician.
And then she goes, "Did you call about this already?" I said, "Yeah, I called yesterday." "Who'd you speak to?" "Some guy. He didn't answer his name. He didn't give his name, but he did all this." And she goes, "Oh, that's why you mad." And I'm like, this is the thing where it's like, and if she would have given me an apology now and be like, hey, when you called yesterday, I was on my period, or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
I would accept it. I would actually accept it because I'm like, this shit is crazy. Matter of fact,
it's crazy.
Sitting here thinking about it, I think I'm gonna call these motherfuckers right now.
That's
I'm just
right.
curious.
Good afternoon, Dr. Nine's office. How can I help you?
Hey, good afternoon. My name is Dave Temple. I'm trying to follow up on a prescription from Dr. Boris.
Okay. Can I have your date of birth?
2/10/83.
Okay, so unfortunately, Dr. Boris is no longer with us.
Mm-hmm.
And you will have to schedule an appointment with another doctor in order to receive medication.
Yeah, so I was trying to schedule an appointment last week for this Friday to see if we could do a telecall. Both people that I spoke with took my name, my number, and my birthday, and they were supposed to call me back to see if we could do a teleconference. Is there any way to follow up if that's been done?
I don't know who you spoke to, and there's many workers. Unfortunately, at the moment, the doctor is super swamped. So I don't know if he'll be able to even do a teleconference visit, given that you've already been to our office a few times.
Wait, why would that happen? Why do they still take tele appointments or no?
Currently, no, because we're just really short-staffed and we're super busy at the moment. So,
wouldn't a tele one be easier though? Because there's less people coming in.
It would, but the thing is that since the doctor is basically, the only one here to do a telehealth through the computer, So it's just a process. It's not something where he could just jump on it and do it.
Okay, do you have any idea why Dr. Boris left? Is it because of this kind of stuff right here?
No.
Do you know why he left?
I'm not sure why he left. Hold on a minute, okay?
Okay.
Don't want to work no more. Man, Dr. Boris.
I thought to myself, I either got ripped off or this is my first case. Sixers fan falls asleep. This hits close to home. I started comedy in Philly. I lived there for 8 years, taught at several schools. Sleeping 76ers fan defends himself against Charles Barkley, drunk Clint. I love Charles Barkley, by the way. I can't get enough of Barkley. A 76ers fan somehow slept through the portion of Philadelphia's 116-108 Game 4 win over the Heat on Sunday night. Late in the third quarter of a tight game, TNT, cameras caught the man snoozing in his seat at the Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia, where the Sixers ultimately tied the Eastern Conference semifinals 2-2. The fan joined Miami's taking an L on Sunday, as his courtside seat likely wasn't cheap. There he is. He is sleeping. Okay.
Do you want to play this?
Yeah. Let's.
20 seconds. Oh my God.
Where is he?
Oh, I don't know.
So.
Oh, right here.
He's sleeping. I love it.
So was Barkley like, oh, that's terrible?
No, Barkley said he was drunk.
Oh, okay.
After he was caught slouching in his seat with his mouth wide open, many critics had assumed he had too much to drink. But according to the sleeping fan, he was just taking a cat nap. This is unprecedented, somebody said, a local Philadelphia station. I mean, this is all over the place. Somebody said, I'm officially trending on Twitter. This has been a lot of positive feedback. Everybody making an assumption that I had been drinking. It's not actually accurate. I did have a drink or two, but not a lot. Keller said that his courtside snooze was a result of two things: being tired after taking a flight from Atlanta to Philadelphia after a college visit with his daughter. He's trying to be a good parent. And eating too much at a Mother's Day brunch. Those things can put you to sleep. Let's see what the guy has to say.
This is unprecedented. I mean, this is all over the place. You know, somebody said I'm officially trending on Twitter. And there's been a lot of positive feedback. You know, a couple of, everybody is making the assumption that I had been drinking. It's not actually accurate, but that's fine. Whatever it is. But most of the feedback's been positive.
Well, David, that's why I'm happy to chat with you because of what you just said. So what actually happened? How did you take me through it? Because we see that little clip, but were you sleeping for a longer period of time? Were you tired leading up? What led up to that moment that has gone viral in the third quarter?
Yeah. So, I'm a huge Sixer fan. I'm a partner with the Sixers, actually. That's hence the great seats I had. And I'm a super motivated fan. I had flown back home from Atlanta. I was with my daughter for a college visit the night before. We got in after midnight. So I probably didn't get to sleep till 1. She had a soccer game in Annapolis that morning. We left the house at 7. So not a lot of sleep and a long drive, both back and forth. Came back to Mother's Day brunch, probably ate more than I should have. And then went to the Sixers, ran down to the Sixers game. I did have a drink or two, but not a lot. I mean, I'm a guy, anybody who knows me knows that I can play for long periods of time. So that really, I don't think it wasn't that. I think it contributed. So, and I just took a cat nap. So, I saw James Harden's 3-pointers in the fourth quarter. I was waiting, but
this just becomes a lot of excuses after a while, and I don't think me and Erik want to hear it. Neither do our fans.
How is being a Philadelphia fan passed out drunk unprecedented? I mean, Philadelphia fans are always drunk.
Wait a second now, Erik. Shots fired.
Yeah.
We're not always drunk. After we win a Super Bowl, do we sometimes go to the streets where there's horse manure and eat that to prove a point that we're champions? Yes, we do. Yeah. We'll eat horse manure to prove that we're champions. But falling asleep during a playoff game, that doesn't sound like us.
Yeah, that's unprecedented.
It's unprecedented.
If he was eating horse, I think we would have been okay, right?
Yeah, we would have been okay with it because that's the sign of a winner. And, he should have played the card. This is what I would have done. I would have done the equivalent of alopecia, the sleeping alopecia, which is narcolepsy. Mm-hmm. I would have been like, I have a disease, narcolepsy.
I think the funniest thing was a couple of years ago. Do you remember when the Dodgers in the World Series and Larry King was sitting behind home plate and one of the games went to like 16 innings and he was just laid out, unconscious, and he was there every night, like asleep, over there. And I thought that was hilarious.
I think it is pretty hilarious.
Yeah. And now he's dead though, which is probably funnier in a way.
Yeah.
Right.
Do you think they should Weekend at Bernie's him and put him behind there and be like, he's sleeping again?
Fix is fat. Fix is fat.
All right, everybody, very special. What usually happens is we have a segment called Figs is Fat. What I've learned through being a New Yorker is that it's not just figs. Today, I was able to find two big fat guys, and they have a podcast called My Big Fat Podcast. These guys are from New Jersey. They're both fat. Then I realized that they had a third guy with them that's not that fat. He's trying to get fatter. I guess that's his goal. Why don't you start by telling us your names? You're big, you're fat, your podcast?
I'm chubby.
What's your name?
My name's Andrew.
Andrew?
Oh, I'm Nelson.
Nelson?
I'm John Michael.
John Michael.
Yes, sir.
Hey, John Michael?
Yeah.
I don't know how, but your mom's actually calling in. Is it cool if I'm just going to put it through. Hold on.
Dude, please.
Juan Michael, mira, papi. Mira, Mike, when you coming home?
Ma, what are you doing here?
Papi, when you gonna come? When you're coming home, papi, everything is ready. Arroz con gandules, con mozzarella sticks, con Coca-Cola 3 liter is ready for you. Also, Juan Michael, your white friend left his Confederate flag in your room. Do you want me to wash it for you, papi? I wash it clean, fabuloso. Ya tú sabes la guagua.
Madre, that flag is mine. Leave it alone, please.
Ay,
Don't touch.
qué rico, Trump 2020. Ya tú sabes. Okay, papi, well, let me know when you're ready and I heat it to tostones for you, okay?
I love you, mommy.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
That was so nice.
Yeah, man.
You have a good relationship with your mom.
Great relationship. I'm so happy she called in. I can't believe you guys got her.
Is she proud of you for doing what you're doing?
She's, I don't know if proud is the word. She deals with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was she born in America or born somewhere else?
No, she was born in Peru.
And then she moved here. So she loves America.
Yeah, and she actually did the whole caravan thing. Yep.
What's the caravan thing?
You know, like Coyote and everything. Like she came.
Come on.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Swear to God.
Fuck off.
I swear.
With the rest of
And
her
that's
family, or they all died in the truck?
No, her mom, and her brother.
They came together.
And they fucking made it. Yeah.
From Peru. So where'd they walk to?
Damn, I wish I had like details, but I'm pretty sure it was into like the California area, man. I don't
And then
know.
you're born, so you're legal.
Oh yeah, I'm legal.
And
Yeah.
did she go through and get her citizenship and stuff?
She did. I believe. I don't know how it worked, man.
She
but
probably
she
went
got
to
it.
Nework, where I went.
That's what. Yeah.
I went to Newark. and got
Congratulations
mine.
for that, by the way.
Thank you, man. It's a pretty big thing as a Peruvian boy. You have a house?
Well, I live in an apartment right now. Remember?
all right.
I have 2 roommates.
Yeah.
It's not going.
Are they
great.
Peruvian?
No. One's Argentinian and one's Greek and what, like Chinese or something? Chinese, Guyanese,
Apartment must smell like what the you guys cooking? Pterodactyl wings with chipotle sauce on them? That's gross. You got your own room or like you
I have my own room.
Yeah. What do you
Bunk
pay?
beds.
What do you pay? $600 a month?
$710.
That's not pretty close. Elizabeth, New Jersey.
You're in Jersey? Do you live in Jersey?
Yeah.
Oh.
Not Elizabeth.
No, I wouldn't suggest that.
Yeah. I mean, I've driven by there sometimes.
Okay, that's dangerous. Good.
When I drive by, no. Your doors lock automatically. Yeah. When I was growing up, you had to lock your doors, but I wouldn't lock my door. I drove in Patterson the other night.
Really?
Yeah, you ever been to Patterson?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, it's real, man. It's a real deal.
I almost joined the gang out there. Oh.
Hey, Mike.
What the fuck is this, dude?
We're doing the show. What's up?
Who the fuck are these guys? This is Figs is Fat. Dude, who the fuck are these kids?
It's Ruben, Jean-Marc, and Simon.
It looks like my
Bro, you're in shape. You're not even fat.
I actually lost 3 pounds in there. Yeah. These are the 3 pounds. This guy's a little chunky. You call him fat? Come on.
These guys do a podcast called...
What is going on?
These guys do a podcast.
Whoa, put that away. Put that away. Fitz has a knife.
This guy Puerto
I'm not
Rican?
replacing you. I just found 3 other fat guys. I met 2. I didn't know that there was a third one.
Yeah, he's Puerto Rican.
You're fatter than the third guy.
You. What the hell's going on here?
Why don't you have a podcast with these guys called Fat Guns?
You guys want to do a podcast called Fat Guns? We just got sponsored. You guys are part of it?
You guys know Mike
Gang,
Figs?
gang.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we met him earlier.
Figs, you want to introduce yourself? Figs is
What's up,
usually the
guys?
fat guy on the show.
Yeah.
This is so awkward.
Pretty sure I saw you on the corner selling papayas, right?
I was selling papayas.
Figs.
Diet papayas, you sack of
Are you fatter than in this crew?
I'm fatter than Dominican Joe over here. He's the only one he does baseball. You can tell by his triceps. He's a first baseman.
That's the apprentice. Do you think these guys are fatter than you?
Yeah, they're a little chunkier than me. Yeah. They're shorter than me.
Real men, bro.
A little chunkier. Come on.
They're shorter than me. This guy's been doing H outside. He's been loaded.
I would say he's fatter than you. I don't know if he's fatter than you, but he could be hiding it with the
Guy has stretch marks up to his neck. He's definitely fatter than you, buddy.
Thank you. I like these guys. They're complimenting me. I'm like Short McLean over here.
Short McLean.
Undisputed UFC middleweight champion of the world.
Nate Diaz decided to send a message, I guess, to Dana White, the UFC, and everybody who wants to listen by taking a whiz on the UFC PI and making it very clear that, I make more money than anyone and they won't cut me. So there's literally nothing they can do about this.
What was the actual words? Did he say that I make more money than all of you or something?
Yeah, I mean...
took a piss on the UFC PI. I could do this because I get paid more than all you guys and they won't cut me. What's your honest opinion on that?
I mean, this is a guy who, to announce the biggest fight of his career, slapped Dana White. This is kind of his MO is like, fuck you to the boss, fuck you to everybody who's ever down, fuck you to everybody who's not Stockton 209. You know what I mean? That's kind of his deal.
Yeah.
What if it's all WWE? What if him and Dana are actually just boys, and this is all just to sell Nate as the character that he is?
Well, you never know. I doubt it. But the thing that Harrington mentioned there when he slapped Dana, they was certainly all in on it. That was just good old fashioned fun. But this thing here, my slight issue with that is that number one, you're alienating and you're offending all the other fighters on the roster. I get paid more than all you guys. What's that got to do with anything? And then taking a piss, I don't know. Call me a miserable old fart. It's a little bit childish and immature, don't you think?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's a dog marking his territory. Like, what are you doing? Grow
it's
up.
not Israel Adesanya walking into the cage, Harrington.
You're in your late 30s, dude. You're in your late 30s. What are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing? Why are you still peeing outside?
I don't know. Like, you're not going to help yourself. No good is going to come out of that situation. I mean, unless he wants the UFC, to cut him and let him go. But if they get mad, all they're going to want to do is fuck with him more. Do you know? I don't understand what good can come out of that tweet.
I mean, just to raise his stock, right? As the people's favorite, as the anti-conformist, anti-authority, F you, F the man. It's the reason why somebody like Nate Diaz, who's not ranked anywhere near the top at 170, was able to get a fight against the guy who's about to fight for a title at 170 after a year and a half long hiatus. Like, there's something about that. Like, if Nate Diaz keeps moving the needle, no matter how bad or how anti whatever, he's always going to get himself into big moments.
Yeah, no, and I don't disagree with that.
Everybody loves something that goes up. Everybody, the dumbest motherfucker in the world, can watch something double in price and be like, woohoo, this is the greatest thing ever. And then watch it dump 10%. That dumb is out of there. He's gone.
I bet you there was way more new entries into Bitcoin when it was north of 60K than it is today.
That's exactly right.
And that just goes to show, people are trend followers. They're not trend setters. They don't. And this is why so few people, get rich investing, is because you have to have somewhat of a contrarian stance. When I see markets tanking, I salivate. Everyone else gets nervous, and it comes with some experience. It comes with some time. But you have to have nerves of steel. And that's what honestly, I think you'll probably have a lower entry point to get into Bitcoin. But regardless, I would like to see people dollar cost averaging in. If you have no exposure whatsoever, if you're a libertarian and you don't have any exposure, I'm a hard money guy. I'm an old money guy. I've come late to Bitcoin, similar to Dave, but trust me, you want to have some exposure to something other than fiat. I promise you. if it's gold, silver, whatever, but just make sure you have something, because if the whole world really does implode, if the Great Reset is real, if the plan is to actually allow this economy to deleverage, yeah, it's going to get really, really bad.
Well, I think that's Clint kind of hit on it right there. I think what a lot of people are looking for here is an insurance policy. Is like you start to look at where we are now and go, I'd like some insurance against the worst case scenario. At the heart of at least the libertarian sell of Bitcoin was that this is, kind of like your insurance policy against the absolute worst. And right now, the absolute worst is starting to seem a lot more real to a lot of people. Especially, look, me and Rob have been, since we've been doing this podcast, we've been talking about this economic crash that we're about to feel. And I was talking about it for years before Rob was on the podcast. Right. And I got to say, I tip my hat to the Federal Reserve. I can't believe they kept it going this long. But it really seems like we're right on the brink of it now. And so that's what a lot of people are asking. So I don't know, Rob, do you have any follow-up for Guy on that? Like, are you satisfied with that response?
I'll say one thing about the idea of insurance is that one thing that you must insure against as part of that insurance is the fact that you are not in dollar rails. You could have had a great short position against mortgages custodied with Lehman Brothers. You could have $20 billion in dollars in Russia thinking that you're hedging against rubles. But if your infrastructure is dependent on someone else's authority or permission, if you can't move money without your insuring agent being solvent, without your political institution or your jurisdiction being friendly to exactly why you want to use it, it's not insurance. You're like, we're talking about political insurance here. We're talking about something that needs to be external from the dollar system, which is the everything system. Sure, when the Titanic sinks and there's massive waves, your dinghy is gonna rock like crazy. Your dinghy is gonna be thrown all over the place. But if that floats, you still want to be in it. Do you want to be sitting in fiat, and do you want to pay for the $200 trillion fraud that is about to unravel? Or do you want to be in the dinghy and deal with the waves? Like right now, that seems like the two options.
I wanted to go into, there was a autistic valedictorian. But so yeah, this girl has she has an entire speech that she programmed into a robot. I figure we can listen to a little bit of it.
Life is for service. So simple, yet so profound. Classmates,
that's a big word,
who have shared your passion for service within our community. Our friends in the sororities
Pause
and
it.
fraternities.
She looks like she's having an argument in the shower after.
She looks mad. She looks like they're saying something she didn't type, but she can't express herself.
Oh, they could have wrote anything. She could have been like, Rollins College sucks my
saying that Hillary's a bitch, and I don't even like this sorority.
Scenes did this to me. That was the first. I would rather the mumps than this.
All mad because Pfizer paid for the robot.
Yeah, the robot censored out her entire speech. I wrote, "Eat my you pigs."
I mean, I assume the end of this video ends with pig's blood landing on this guy.
Man.
Those older valedictorians don't fucking like you. They probably invited her to the party and she can just get to the door, but nobody opens it for her. She's just staring at
What's the password?
Our local newspaper reported how the principal at my high school told a staff member, the word can't be valedictorian.
What the This is awesome.
Oh,
the principal of the school said this.
No. The former principal of that school.
Well, to be fair, she probably in her high school.
Yeah.
What the fuck, man?
She showed that guy.
I mean, he's not wrong.
Yeah.
But still.
Imagine he comes out right now and interrupts.
It was
He's like,
Ambrose.
Come on, I mean, she look at her. She's kind of. right?
That's his only defense.
He's just yelling in the hallway. Is it only me? Well,
oh yeah. I'm not. What? You guys were saying the same thing.
Yeah. She can't talk.
All of a sudden, everybody's nonverbal. Oh, okay. All right. Oh, now that the reporters are here, we're all nonverbal except me. All right.
You know what? Fuck you guys anyway.
I'm just thinking the whole time this is doing her robot speech, there is some Indian girl just steaming.
Yeah.
They cooked the books on this.
She's playing with her graduation hat, so she rips it in half.
Yeah, she's scratching the henna off.
I work my ass off, and I am also able to speak
I
to people.
programmed the robot voice for her.
I designed the robot
thesis.
I learned every Latin language so I could do this speech in multiple places.
Welcome to Gas Me Anything. This week our guest in studio is Zac Amico.
Beanie King JP wants to know, what is the most tame/innocent thing that absolutely disgusts you?
Oh, tame. Whew. Oh, this is fucked up, man. People eating. Have you ever been in a restaurant and they sit a special needs person by you? There's something about it. You don't want to be like, hey, move. I know we're in the section. But yeah, something about little kids or special needs people eating and get the food all over themselves. It just makes my stomach turn. I know that's a mean answer. I'm really sorry. But it's just, ugh.